Hello everybody, my name is Dragan. Welcome back my channel Health Fitness 1047. Here is the episode new. Follow me.
The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, the next prequel in the Hunger Games series, this time revolving around the bloody past of the character Haymitch Abernathy, The Hunger Games. Sunrise on the Reaping is the next prequel in the Hunger Games universe, adapted from the latest novel by writer Suzanne Collins, released on March 18, 2025. The film is scheduled to be released in theaters on November 20, 2026, directed by Francis Lawrence, who has directed the previous films in the series. The story takes place during the second quarter 12, the 50th Hunger Games, nearly 25 years after the events of Katniss Everdeen. At the center of the story is 16-year-old Haymitch Abernathy, living with his mother and younger brother in District 12. After being chosen as a tribute for a special Hunger Games, Haymitch faces violence, betrayal, and trauma, all of which later turn him into a bitter, alcoholic, and iconic survivor. The film stars Joseph Zada as a young Haymitch, Whitney Peak as his love interest Lenore Dove Baird, McKenna Grace as his ally Maysilee Donner, and Jesse Plemons as Plutarch Heavensbee, the future leader of the Capitol. This prequel takes a deeper look at the depths of psychology, human corruption, and the legacy of violence that Panem leaves behind. Unlike the prequel The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which focused on the origins of the tyrant Coriolanus Snow, Sunrise on the Reaping takes the opposite tack. It's about a victim of the system, not its creator. The choice to center Haymitch is a rich one. In previous installments, Haymitch was a supporting character, often seen as drunk, sarcastic, and reckless. But behind that decay lies a brutal past that has never been told. This is the first time the audience gets to see the full tragedy that shaped him. The second quarter quell is known as a special tournament where the Capitol doubles the number of tributes from each district, a subtle form of political revenge. Designed to emphasize the absolute power of the Capitol, Haymitch's victory is not only a victory of survival but also a lifelong mental wound, reflected in his later self-destructive lifestyle. The appearance of Plutarch Heavensbee also hints at the internal transformation within the Capitol elite, from loyalists to those who begin to doubt the system, paving the way for later uprisings. Thus, the film is not only a personal story, but also an important political piece in the formation of the Panem Revolution. If the Hunger Games was once a symbol of anti-authoritarianism, then Sunrise on the Reaping promises to become a symbol against the transmission of violence between generations. Unlike simple action-adventure films, the Panem universe does not build pure villains, but exploits the social mechanism that creates violence as a form of rule. The Hunger Games are designed to make the districts fight each other, to prevent them from uniting against the Capitol, a classic tactic of authoritarian governments. The fact that Haymitch, a survivor, doesn't immediately become a hero but instead turns to alcohol and isolation is a testament to the lingering psychological trauma that's rarely explored in young adult films. This is what makes the Hunger Games universe special. It forces viewers to confront the true cost of war, even when the victors are scarred. In addition, the absence of original cast members like Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson is understandable, but at the same time opens up new creative space, just like Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes did with Tom Blyth and Rachel Zegler. The casting of young actors Joseph Zada and Whitney Peak shows that Lionsgate is seriously investing in the next generation, both in content and image. This work can also be seen as a modern warning. When historical pains are forgotten or ignored, they will recur in more subtle forms. This is especially relevant today, when young people are facing conflict, censorship and injustice from systems larger than themselves. Conclusion: The Hunger Games. Sunrise on the Reaping is not simply an extension of the cinematic universe, but a humane and political reminder. The story of Haymitch is a story of survivors who are never whole, a rare perspective in the fantasy genre that favors the perfect hero. With psychological depth, a strong social message, and the return of veteran director Francis Lawrence, the film promises another tragic and bloody chapter in the journey against brutality.